On this edition of Good Day DePaul, protests. It rocks Iran. DePaul reacts.
A DePaul mural project. It was 7 years in the making, but it's now complete.
And a special DePaul alum receives a big honor. I'm Sayla Estelle.
And I'm Shadan Gomez, and this is Good Day DePaul. Protesters have been demonstrating in Iran and around the world. The reason? The death of a young Iranian woman. I talked to some people at DePaul about these momentous developments in Iran. About 6 weeks ago, 22-year-old Mahsa Amini died after being arrested by the so-called morality police in Tehran, Iran, for allegedly not wearing her hijab, the Muslim head covering, according to regulations. Morality police enforce the country's requirements for women to dress and act a certain way. DePaul professor Karim Pakrivan is an international issue strategist and was born in Iran. Professor Pakrivan says Iranian women have a history of resisting the regime.
Iranian women have been always at the forefront of the struggle again for freedom. They still have much more power than in some of other Islamic countries like Saudi Arabia and others. I mean, they can work, they can drive. Majority of students in universities are women. There are women in all the professions.
Amini was arrested on September 13th and died just 3 days later. Police say the cause of death was a heart attack. Her family and Iranian protesters, however, say that's not true. They say the 22-year-old had no pre-existing heart condition and believe she was beaten to death. Police released a video of Amini collapsing on the back of a chair at a detention center before falling on the floor. After her death, protests started and spread throughout the world. Women at these protests burn hijabs or cut their hair to show resistance. The associate professor for women's and gender studies at DePaul, Leila Farah, says the protests are more than just about hijabs.
And the piece of cloth actually has nothing to do with it. What it is that it's about authoritarianism. And it's about how authoritarianism desperately needs to control the population. And what better way to control the population than if you control 50% of it by controlling their bodies?
The death of Amini sparked resistance among not only women, but also men.
The average age of the young men protesting are young. So we're looking at from high school boys to guys up into their 30s. And they are shoulder to shoulder with their sisters. They are just like, stop it. We're done. We don't want to be controlled. That is significant.
Here in Chicago, we talked to an Iranian student who asked not to be identified. The student's voice has been modified. The student remembers first hearing about Amini's case.
I went to a restaurant and I sat down with my friends and I just started bawling my eyes out. I just started crying frantically because I just kept saying, that could have been me. Not to take away from her experience, but I was just trying to make them understand how close that was. I was like, she's my age. That could have been me.
The student remains in touch with friends and family who live in Iran.
They all say, please just pray for us, which is something that you don't want to hear because while it is super comforting to pray, it's also a feeling of hopelessness.
The student felt guilt when hearing about Amini's case.
A feeling of, I should be there, I should help, I should say something. I'm sitting here in the comfort of my home in Chicago, They're not. They hear gunshots, they hear yelling, they hear screaming.
The student would protest in Iran, if possible.
What could have my mother said to me that would have made me not want to go fight for this? There's nothing, I can't think of a single thing. And in a way, I think that she would want me to do it, but at the same time, she would be afraid that something would happen to me.
Filled with guilt, hope is still there.
I pray that the people of Iran don't give up. I pray that they continue. It's no longer a protest, it's a revolution now.
For Good Day DePaul, Shaden Gomez.
DePaul Public Safety says an armed robbery took place near the Loop campus. It occurred on October 14th at the 7-Eleven at Jackson and Wabash. Public Safety says a suspect entered the store at about 10 p.m. and displayed a weapon. No one was injured.
It started in 2016, a mural project depicting DePaul's history. That project is now complete. Culminating in a ceremony on October 15th, it includes 25 murals that wrap around pillars at the CTA Fullerton L stop at the Lincoln Park campus. The murals are 10 feet high and depict key people and moments in the university's history. The project was the vision of muralist brother Mark Elder, a faculty member at DePaul's art school.
A DePaul alum has received the prestigious MacArthur Foundation Fellowship. Tamika Reed, a 2002 graduate of the School of Music, was honored for her work as a jazz cellist. The foundation recognized Reed for, quote, forging a unique jazz sound that draws from a range of musical traditions and expanding the expressive possibilities of the cello in improvised music. The MacArthur Awards, commonly known as Genius Grants, include an $800,000 no strings attached award. It goes to creative individuals as an investment in their potential.
President Biden recently launched his student loan forgiveness program. Borrowers can now apply for this relief. They just go to studentaid.gov and fill out the application. The program will cancel up to $10,000 in student loan debt for those making less than $125,000 a year, and up to $20,000 may be canceled for Pell Grant recipients. Borrowers must have federally held student loans to qualify. Coming up on Good Day DePaul, ties, and more ties for the DePaul men's soccer team.
All that and more in sports when we return.
The flu is unpredictable and can be serious. Who needs to be vaccinated against the flu? You. Get a flu vaccine. For more information, www.flu.gov.
It's been a season of ties for the DePaul men's soccer team. They've tied 3 of their last 4 games. Their overall record is now 3 wins, 4 losses, and 6 ties.
The DePaul women's soccer team broke a 6-game losing streak, beating Seton Hall 2-0 on Senior Day. It was their first Big East win of the season.
The DePaul volleyball team has lost 4 in a row, with the latest loss coming against Creighton.
In cross country, the DePaul men finished 19th and the women 20th at the Weiss Crockett Invitational at Oklahoma State University.
In golf, the DePaul men finished 4th at the Iowa Fall Classic, and individually, the Blue Demons' Cameron Carney finished 7th.
DePaul sophomore Anissa Morrow was a unanimous pick to all Big East women's preseason basketball team. Morrow was the National Freshman of the Year last year, averaging almost 22 points a game and nearly 14 rebounds.
Coming up, Christmas at DePaul.
That story is next on Good Day DePaul.
Matchsticks, matchbox, matching tie to matching socks. You don't know why, but you're really special to match point, match game. You and I are not the same, but I can tell that you're really special to me. There's something I can give to make you laugh, to help you live. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me.
It's hard to believe, but Christmas is less than 2 months away. Here at DePaul, one of the big holiday events is the Christmas at DePaul musical program at St. Vincent de Paul Church. It will be held for the 15th straight year on December 8th and 9th. Music will be provided by the DePaul Community Chorus and an orchestra of students from the School of Music. If you're interested in attending, tickets will be distributed through a lottery.
That's all for this week's edition of Good Day DePaul. You can keep up with us by visiting our Vimeo channel at Good Day DePaul or by going to goodday.depaul.edu.
And make sure to check us out on Facebook.
And if you have any news tips, Message us through the Good Day DePaul social media channels.
Thanks for watching. I'm Sayla Estelle.
And I'm Jaden Gomez. Have a good day, DePaul.